York City at 4 Times Square, home of Nasdaq. In fact, there is a room of top producing eXp agents, team leaders, and our executive team here live with all of us today and with all of you today joining us from across the globe to celebrate 2025 and all of the amazing accomplishments we've all had in 2024 and going into this new year. We are so excited about 2025. Are you guys excited? Yeah. In fact, 2025 is the year that we make bold moves. And we're going to encourage all of you to lean in to making those bold moves with us in your business, in your life. Now is the time to seize opportunity, and there is an abundance of opportunity out there. In fact, one of the things that you'll see today in the videos that are coming out of the morning and in some of the announcements that we're going to be making shortly is our commitment to making bold moves. We are so committed to making bold moves that we even have the t-shirt to encourage you and to remind you every single day to go out there and be bold and make bold moves. Because we know that together we can all get to that next level here at eXp. And that's what we're all about, is next level. Because we know that we are the only real estate brokerage on the globe who is proven, profitable, and sustainable. Yes, there we go. And we know that sustainability builds legacy. And that's what you're all working towards every single day, is to build that legacy for you, your business, and your families. So we've got a whole line of t-shirts that are live now in the brand store that you can go buy to remind yourself of that every single day. What do you think? Yeah. All right. And if you're a coffee drinker like me, we also have the mugs to go along with it to remind you to make bold moves. So that's how committed we are to making bold moves this year. In fact, we're starting the year off with an announcement today that recognizes 3 of our leaders who have made bold moves in the real estate industry. I'm delighted to share that just this morning, Inman News recognized Glenn, Leo, and Kendall Bonner, who is our VP of Industry Relations, for the bold moves that they have made and recognizing them as our Inman Power Players, which is a very distinct honor. So congratulations to them. I know her, I hear from the audience. And then this morning we're going to have a number of other announcements. But before we launch into announcements, I get the honor of introducing our founder and CEO to share a few words about his vision for 2025. So please join me in welcoming Glenn Sanford.
Thank you, Wendy. All right, so it is, how many here in the room thought that this morning was just surreal? You know, when I started on sort of building eXp, it was really with the fundamental mission to build something that would scale for agents. And it was never my intention to be here at Nasdaq, but it was my intention to build the most agent-centric real estate brokerage on the planet. And by focusing on the right things, you a lot of times get a lot of unexpected benefits, and this is certainly one of them. And it is pretty cool to be able to sort of feel the energy in the room, and then also see so many of our great agents, team leaders, and those who have been helping grow the company over really since the beginning. I know Suzanne Fuquay is in the room. Really early on was our first broker managed broker in Arizona, and been with us on this entire journey. So we've got so many great people in the room. There's a lot of really great announcements that obviously are going to take place. It is the beginning of the year, and it is really, if you think about it, if you set the intention of making bold moves, a lot of good things will come from that. You'll look, at the end of this year, and you'll go, hey, we accomplished some really cool stuff because we had the intention of doing these different things. I loved what Jesse Itzler liked, the idea of having a word for the year. And for me, I think the idea of having the word bold as being the word of the year would be a pretty powerful word, and is one that I'm actually now considering of adding to my vision board for 2025. So first of all, thanks everyone for being here. Thanks everyone for watching. And I believe, is it Leo that's coming up next? Okay, Leo Pareja is obviously our CEO of eXp Realty, joined us in that role in 2024 and has been rocking it with the rest of the leadership team, and it's been amazing to see what he's brought to the table and making bold moves himself. So, Leo.
Good morning, eXp! How fun was that? I was just as excited to go, dink. So, lots of things to share today and some really, really exciting things. There's one thing I want to point out, because I like to point out this a lot. I'm always in conversations and people start comparing us to brands specifically, and I said, I think a lot of the franchisors have more in common with a company like Yum Brands that sells Burger King or Tim.Hortons, because they're in the franchise business. They're not in the broker business. We are the first of a kind mega broker ever. We invented this category. We have 2,500 staff people who are watching, who are the backbone of this company, who help you fulfill all your transactions. So the first obsession here is operational excellence. We are a brokerage, first and foremost. We are tech-enabled, but we are your brokerage, and our job is to make you go faster, stronger, better, so you can serve more families in the most important decision of their financial lives, statistically speaking. So, with that said, I'm just going to start rolling into some very exciting stuff. Philosophically, we want you into production. One of the distinctions about us is that we're actually your partner. You are not my product. So I'm not designing stuff to sell to you to make money. I actually want you to get into production and participate with you as you pay your cap. So some of you may know the name Brian Ellington, who joined us a little bit over a year ago, and his very first mission was to build a very quick onboarding course to get you into production. So at eXpCon, we announced the launch of FastCap. We are launching 3 a month, getting 1,000 agents through them. And do you guys want to know what the first results of the first couple cohorts were? Yeah. Average results across hundreds of agents that did the minimum activity was 6.9 set appointments with 3.9 signed listing or buyer agreements on brand new agents in 6 weeks. And it's completely included. There's no additional fee. Our job is to get you guys into production, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4 homes in your first year. And for the team leaders watching, the new process is when you recruit to your team, you send them to FastCap, and we give them back to you ready to serve families. How's that sound? Yeah. So if you don't know, send your people to FastCap. We've now operationalized it, and we're launching one almost every single week. The second one is coming out of beta. It's an idea that actually Veronica Figueroa suggested to me. And we were iterating and testing, and we came up with Team Leader Academy. This is in beta. It's coming out soon, but it is based, again, on what the feedback you've given us. Instead of trying to invent everything ourselves, we like to partner with best in class. And so we went out and reached out to EOS and partnered with the EOS to build a program to help team leaders scale for growth. How's that sound? There's a small fee of $2,500, but you get 4 implementator calls as a group and one 90-minute one-on-one call and all the toolkits to grow a team as big as you can dream. Because one of the most important things to me is that we are a platform that allow real estate entrepreneurs to build whatever size dream they want. And that could be trying to unseat Justin Haver with 1,100 transactions, or it could be selling 12 homes a year to provide for your family. Our platform allows you to build whatever dream you want. Now, the last big tech announcement before I invite some of my friends on stage that some of you may already know. I think most of you in the room have at least texted me or chatted me on Workplace as to what we're going to do when Workplace goes away. You guys curious? Yes. Yep. All right. As of today, we're officially announcing we are switching to Slack Pro. Again, our foundation is we're a brokerage. We're not confused and think we're a tech company, think we can build everything. I much prefer to go find the very best tech in the world that has hundreds of millions of dollars invested into it and create a partnership to give you the best tech in the moment. Because that way we hold it accountable. And if something else pops up, we can always top grade and get you the best in class tech. So for all of you that were paying for Slack Pro, that's a pretty nice relief from your budget. You can use it for your ref share groups, for your teams. You're getting the full version of Slack, and I'm super excited. And by the way, that's coupled after getting Canva. And by the way, there's a very nice integration between Canva and Slack. So we're always looking for the next best tools to make you guys better professionals for the families you serve. So there's two more announcements. The next one, his name is Abel Gilbert. He is the founder of One Path Realty and actually a really good friend of mine who lives in Miami. I think we're onboarding your team as we speak, right?
Yeah, happening right now.
Let's have a seat. So Abel and I are going to have a conversation. He's a visionary independent broker in Miami, Florida. He's a huge Zillow Flex team and sits on Zillow's board of advisory of agents. And I just want to know, how'd you end up here?
Oh, wow. Where do I start? It's been a journey. It's been a journey that started by having a lot of friends. A lot of my friends from the industry are sitting in this room. And it really started with friends who planted the seed, right? Planted the seed about what this company really is about, which is growth, which is opportunity. As an independent broker, I feel like we have an ego, right? We have this idea that it's so hard to let go of this baby that we build. And as reality happens, right, in this process of evolving a company, you realize that there are certain things and areas that you shouldn't be focusing on. And the brokerage side of the company was something that I felt that over time, things were gonna get better, things were going to be easier. I'm going to, launch a national brokerage, I'm going to go public, I'm going to do all these things. And as you evolve, you realize this is hard. This is hard, and I should be focusing on selling more real estate, creating a much better experience for my agents, and helping them just not succeed just through their daily efforts of selling houses, but also how to create a future, a legacy. And that's when I realized, like I told you, that's when I saw the light.
So talk to me about other independent brokers probably sitting at a crossroads trying to figure out the best path forward. What would you say to them?
First of all, be open-minded. And I know that it's a typical, right? We all know that you should be open-minded, but truly be open-minded. Again, I think it's ego. I think we allow our ego to get in the way. Once you have clarity, and I know Glenn mentioned earlier something about his word of the year. My word of the year is purpose. I think as brokers, we tend to commit to too many things, and we tend to lose clarity of what is the purpose. And that's a word that came up for me in 2024. So in that process of exploration, because I wasn't just talking to eXp, I was talking to other companies and venture opportunities and, build a new company here, do that. And I just wanted to focus. And I wanted to fulfill that word of purpose. Because to me, once you guys, most of you here are team leaders, once you truly care about your agents, it's really not about money anymore. It's about watching them succeed. Again, not just through their daily efforts, but also like you want them to be wealthy. You want them to have a life that they could be proud of.
Last question. What are you most excited about?
Oh, wow. You should have told me you were going to ask me that so I could get ready for it. What am I most excited about? Yeah, I'm most excited about watching my agents grow that tomorrow business, the business of revenue share. That is something that I'm so excited about. Again, I didn't see it before. Over the years, we've had several life situations that have happened. One of our agents passed away, and when you realize that all these agents are counting on you, and yeah, you're helping them, you're providing an environment, right, for them to succeed. But if they're not properly allocating their money, the money they're making, they'll have nothing to show for it. And by providing them with this opportunity, they are able to do both at the same time. And it's the job they're already doing. They might as well profit from that tomorrow business. Another thing I'm excited about, international growth. That I just can't wait. Let's go. Yeah.
Welcome to eXp.
Thank you.
All right, and for our final announcement of the day, Miss Spring Benson from Utah has joined eXp.
We're going to chat?
We're going to chat.
Hi, guys. How are you?
So,
Is this shocking?
Spring is someone I've just recently got to know in the last year, unlike Abel that I've known a very long time. And it's been an amazing journey to get to know you and Brian and everybody associated in your ecosystem. And I just wanted to have a candid conversation.
Yeah.
How did you get here?
Good question. If we're going to be very candid, about a year ago, Veronica approached me and said, hey, we'd love to see you do something with eXp. Would you consider having a conversation? And I love Veronica. I was like, yeah, I'll go to dinner with you. Great. And we went to dinner, and I was like, in my head, I was like, this is a hard no. Like, just to be very candid with you guys, I have a revenue share. Well, I had a revenue share business. I have a zero revenue share business now. But I had a revenue share business of about 3,200 agents. I was making 7 figures a year annually in revenue share, and so it was a no. But the seed was planted, like Abel said, and we went on our paths and whatnot, and then over the course of the year, I've got to know you, and you have just been so kind, and I saw your vision, and multiple times I still was like, probably not. To be very candid, like why walk away from something? But what ended up happening was when Leo, I don't think I shared this with you, I met you in Miami, and he just talked about the vision of eXp, and it just planted that seed, and I'm like, they're gonna win. Like, you asked me, he asked me, he's like, I said, I don't lose, so if I'm gonna do this, like, it's game on. And he's like, well, what do you have to do for the next 2 years? And I'm like, you're right, But the true matter of it is, I think this is a bigger opportunity. I think eXp's platform is a larger opportunity. I really want to be in rooms where people are doing bigger things than what we're doing. We sell about 650 homes a year, so I'm excited to be in a small fish in your guys' sea. And some of the most fun I've had is building a revenue share network. And I'm just excited to start over and do it again. So here we go.
So I think the sentence you said to me, it's not too late. And
Yeah.
watch me do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, so I'm going to be really transparent with you guys. I chose your competitor because it was new.
And I had a coach at the time tell me, like, Spring, why would you go to eXp? You can't compete. You have nothing to offer. How can you compete with the 80,000 agents that are there? And he was right. I mean, at that time, you know, I was like, I guess you're kind of right. Like, what's going to make me any different than anybody else? And so I chose the opposite direction, and I'm really grateful I did, quite frankly. It put me on a path of personal development and different things, and it opened my eyes to what is possible. But the truth of the matter is, you guys, there were other people who joined that company when I joined and didn't build the revenue share I built. And I'm just a believer, it doesn't matter if there's 80,000 agents or 5,000 agents or whatever. Like, it's all about you putting in the work. And ultimately, I just believe this model is where I can thrive, and you guys can too. And so I'm burning it down, and we're starting all over.
I'm not sure I can follow anything you just said.
Yeah. Well, and I am truly like starting at zero, so you guys need to help me rally. But I do. I actually told Leo this. I said, you know, you guys really have a really great platform, and you offer a lot. You just need to get out there and start telling the story a little bit more. Your competitors are telling your story for you, and it's probably your time, our time, to start telling a story. So I'm really excited about the 2.0. When Glenn said his word of the year, my word of the year is unapologetic. I'm unapologetic about the decision I've made, and I'm unapologetic about winning, and I think you all should be unapologetic about winning too. Last night, the words, because I did not sleep, just so you know, I gave my phone to my husband. I'm like, I can't check this today. But the words that just kept going through my head last night is, I'm like, I'm bold, so bold. I'm brave, and I'm beautiful, and here we go. So.
Well, first off, I want to thank you for trusting us.
Yeah.
And this is going to be one hell of a ride.
Yeah, it is. So you guys, so follow me along. So what I'm going to do is, and this is for anybody, I'm going to document the complete rebuild. Like, I'm rebuilding. If I can do it, you can do it too. I'm documenting the whole thing. I launched it on my blog, on my website at Spring Bee today. It's called the Downline Diaries, and I'm documenting exactly from ground zero of what's happening, including this. So this is being live streamed. But follow me along. I'll teach you guys what to do, and let's go rebuild together.
Awesome. Spring Benson. All right, that concludes the live stream portion of our show. Thank you so much for everyone watching around the globe. Come hang out with us in Canada next. Where are my Canadians at? Yes. Then Barcelona. And lastly, and then lastly in Miami in October. I see you guys in a city near you.
Can't hear you, Jeff. There you go.
There we go. Just had to turn that off. The music was playing in my ear. Guys, turn on your cameras if you can. We'll go here a little bit longer. Talk a little bit. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Tim. Marina.
Hi, Jeff. Got Aileen and Andy in the room too.
Aileen and
Hey,
Andy,
guys.
Mike Okert.
Girls, guys.
Jocelyn,
I had
Ann
my
out
own
there in
watch party
California.
within the watch party.
I love it.
Talitha, good morning, Talitha. You guys need to meet Talitha. Talitha is brand new here to eXp in the last couple weeks. So she's here in Colorado Springs. She's going to be an icon agent this year. I can tell. She's going to crank it up. So Talitha, who's that with you? Is that one of your people, your new ones?
Yeah, this is Terry.
Terry, hey Terry, welcome. It's great to
Thank
have
you.
you with us for sure.
Thanks.
So
My
good
other
stuff.
person's on here too, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
Diane, is she on here?
Diane.
Maybe.
Yep. I see Diane. I don't know if she has her camera on, but I saw her in here somewhere. So anyway.
Yeah, I see her. There she is.
Cool. So a couple things, and we can talk about that. We can also just mastermind a little bit. We can end this a little early too. We don't have to go all the way till 10. We will be here tomorrow, guys. If and for those of you who are new, there's several new people on here. Just know, every Tuesday we're on here. Same time, same Zoom link. And again, normally we have a training of some sort. We'll bring in one of the icon agents or just a big agent or somebody from eXp corporate who has something that we need to share with everybody, and it's been awesome. We've been doing it now for about 3 years, and so I would just say, guys, put it on your calendar and just block it out for Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, wherever you are, and just try and keep it because it's phenomenal the stuff that's going on here. I haven't looked at it for this last year, and I need to, but I shared this a lot in 2024. My wife and I. We've been doing real estate for 22, 23 years now in Colorado Springs. And just because, back in the day when Freedom Team kind of got going and we thought of organizing things, whatever, and we started putting this together, I volunteered to lead this thing. And on Tuesdays, along with Kathy and the other Freedom Team leaders pop in and out, here and there. Sometimes they're here and sometimes not, but we're all just, rallying behind all this just to pour some value into you guys. And I will tell you, just even for myself, 23 years of doing this, I know in 2023, my wife and I did 160,000 extra in commission from stuff that I picked up on these Tuesday masterminds. We did like 10 extra deals that year that just came from nuggets that I'm just picking up because, not every training is something that I'm necessarily looking to add to my business, but you'll pick up things because you got agents from all over the country. And there's great agents in this group, and there's great agents that come in and speak and train, and you will pick up things here. But anyway, so just put it on your calendar. We're here every Tuesday, and then Wednesday, tomorrow, we'll be back. We just kind of do an open mastermind every Wednesday morning where, anybody and everybody can come in. We'll get anywhere from 10 to 30 people in there, depending on the day. And it's kind of a free-for-all. What do you guys want to talk about? What questions do you have? Is there a question about a deal that you're working on or an inspection issue or a marketing question or FISBOs, or you never know. Sometimes we'll go down the YouTube road, but it varies all the time. Okay, so just know that's here, that we're here really Monday through Thursday. Mondays and Thursdays are on attraction, and if you have any interest in attraction, I will tell you the training we did yesterday was phenomenal. Tim and Eric, what they put together for yesterday was seriously like amazing. It will be posted in the workplace group here in just probably within the next hour. As soon as we're done here, it'll be up pretty quick, okay? Along with Tim's chart that he created, different things there. So anyway, just know that that's what we're doing. Mondays and Thursdays are geared towards those of you who want to learn how to attract agents to eXp. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are all about production, okay? So real quick, anybody want to share anything as far as, from that, what was it, 25 minutes or so? That meeting in the Nasdaq. It was kind of cool. I don't know if you saw this morning. If you go to eXp Realty's Facebook page, they rang the opening bell this morning on the Nasdaq, and it was pretty cool. Seeing what's going on. There's a lot of big things happening here. So, anything jump out at anybody? Any of the announcements or anything? I did like they talked about. Is anybody familiar with Slack Pro? I've heard of it, but I haven't done it. Has anybody used Slack before? Tim, do you know anything about Slack? See you nodding your head.
Yeah, Andy and Aileen and I are using it as a communications vehicle, and I've asked Andy to step over here. I'll let him jump in. Can you see him?
Yeah, I see you back there.
Yeah, them giving us Slack, not only Slack, but the pro version of Slack is like a game changer. It's a huge communication tool. And not only that, but you could set up in the version they're giving us, you can go up and set up like let's say you get a new client in and you want to contact that client, keep in touch with them and share files with them or videos or whatever. You can do it all through Slack. And I think it's probably going to incorporate with KV Core. So, which would be, again, another game-changing aspect to it, and it definitely correlates with Canva. So, if you wanted to set up all of give each individual, let's say you're working with a block of 10 people that you're setting up on new construction, and you're wanting to send them out new construction videos, you could set them up in Slack and give them their own channel so you can communicate with them. And remember what you were talking about, where you set up a landing page for a listing.
Yeah.
You can set them up with their own Slack channel so you can communicate directly with them and show them all the stuff within Slack. I'm telling you, it's going to be, it takes a little bit of time to get used to it, learn how to use it, but once you do, it's completely amazing. The same with Canva. Them giving us the pro version of Canva was like unbelievable.
Right.
So
Do you know,
yeah.
like with Slack Pro, will it be similar in the sense of like Workplace, where we have, here's all the state groups, Colorado State Group, Tennessee State Group,
Yes.
all that stuff, and then you have the
Yes.
local city groups. We have our Freedom Team group. We'll be able to do all that in Slack. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, and you'll be able to join each group, as long as you could go in a request to join each group and then they'll just approve it. And then once they, like if a new form comes out with eXp or whatever, and so they can put it in Slack and then all of a sudden, it's right there at your fingertips, so
Gotcha.
you'll have it all. And us to not have to pay for that is pretty incredible.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And as far as when that comes out, we don't know yet. This is the first we heard about it, guys, just in the last half hour. So, I'm sure they'll get it out. They'll announce it. They'll have trainings on it, all kinds of stuff to get us, worked over there. I know Workplace is going out. I forget what Meta came out with. They announced it about a year ago and said it was sometime this summer, I believe, May or June or something like that. They're discontinuing Workplace. So again, it's not an eXp tool. It's through Facebook. It's through Meta. So they're the ones they're pulling the plug on that. So we'll have plenty of time to get everything transferred over and get it all set up in there. We're gonna have to roll all the trainings over, all the different things. We'll figure out what we're doing with that. But anyway, so great tool. For those of you who are new, I'm just gonna go ahead and share this real quick. If you're new to eXp, make sure you're part of our Freedom Team group in Workplace. Okay, so this is Workplace. Just to show you, you can pin groups over here on the left. I've got one pinned that I tend to go to more frequently, so you can just find them. So I've got Colorado Springs, Colorado State. Here's the Freedom Team group. And I'll show you a couple other things in here just real quick. Right here, first of all, we'll post in here every day. Here's January's calendar. Here's I posted that. It was just a good article I saw on Saturday, and I posted it in here. But all the different events coming up, all the different recordings of trainings are in here. You can go right here to the Learning tab, and when you click on this, it brings up 3 different guides. One is for Agent Attraction, the Monday recordings. One is for the Tuesday recordings, which are all right here. There's last week's training with Brian. Here's the Chat GPT training that Nick did. They're all in here, okay? There's this guy. This is the guide for transactions. Here's the guide for attraction trainings. And then we've added a third guide, the Connect to Collaborate. We're trying to remember, get in the habit of recording Wednesday's masterminds, because it ends up turning into like great stuff. Wow, I wish we had that recorded. So we are recording those and starting to put those in there as well. Okay. And then I do want to show you one thing, because if you're new, one of the things that can make you crazy about Workplace is all the notifications. It will blow up your phone. It can blow up your email, but you can go right here at the bottom left. If you click on your profile at the bottom left and then go to settings, you can hit settings, and then right over here is notifications, and you can turn on and off the ones that you want, whether you want it just on your phone, whether you want the emails, whether or not, what groups you want notifications from. I've got mine turned on, like notifications from the Colorado State group, Colorado Springs group, and Freedom Team, and then the referral. I do have the referral group turned on as well, because we get a lot of referrals going on. So you can join as many groups as you want. It's a great tool. Go ahead and be using it for now. We will switch everything over to Slack Pro once they roll that out to all of us. So just an FYI on that. Okay. So any questions or comments or thoughts on what we just watched, or anything else that you guys want to talk about? We could definitely take some time here, kind of like what we would do tomorrow, and really just kind of open it up as far as the mastermind. Happy to help with anything that we can help with. If anybody has anything they want to bring up, any questions about anything whatsoever. Anything? Anybody?
I actually have a question. Sorry, I was trying to find my unmute.
Hey, Marina.
Hey, so I'm working on my agent attraction, and I am stumped when I come across independent brokers on what the draw is to now be a part of a brokerage when they fought so hard to be independent.
Okay. We can talk about that real quick. I want to try and keep this more geared towards production, just so we
Okay.
can, because that's a great question for like Thursday. That's a Q&A on Thursdays. But I'll hit it real quick. Anybody else can jump in, Tim, Kathy. But as far as the independent brokers, I've got a couple right now. I've got one lady right now that's in the process of coming over here, probably with about 11 agents. And so one of the big things for the independent brokers is that they lose their liability. That's one of the biggest things. eXp becomes now the broker of record. So, but they get to keep their name, their logos, their signs, their colors, all that stuff. It's now, ABC Realty brokered by eXp, whatever. So that's one thing, but their liability goes away. And now everything that they were doing with their brokerage, they can continue to do all that. They can continue to do their Monday morning meetings and their trainings and provide whatever they want to provide. But now all their agents get access to everything that eXp provides as well. Stock bonuses and, all the trainings and all the different things that we're doing if they're part of Freedom Team. They get everything, in addition to what they're already doing. They can start pulling back on that. They could eventually walk away from their brick and mortar office if they have one, if they wanted to. That's something that they could do. But then there's also no boundaries on them either. Right now, the only place they can bring agents into their ABC Realty is right there in that town, wherever they are. But now it opens up the boundaries on that. They can now bring agents, into eXp from anywhere. And you do see that with a lot of the independent brokers. Next thing you know, they go from 25 agents to 300 agents all across the country because they know agents all over the place. So they can start building that revenue share piece as well. So,
Hey,
yeah.
Jeff.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And just kind of to add to that, so I have my own company name. It's Colorado Springs Realty Group. I had it before I ever came to eXp. I get paid at the closing table with my company name. And so even if they had a company name before, again, it's, powered by eXp Realty. I do business as, my personal name, doing business as. So it's relatively easy to still put it underneath the umbrella.
For sure. Tim or Kathy, do you guys want to add anything to any of that right there?
The one thing that I'll add is, in addition to all the things you said, is if they're looking to scale their company, then eXp is a great place for them to do that, because now all the agents that they have in their company have incentives to help grow their company, right? Under the umbrella of eXp, because of how our model is set up. In, a traditional independent company, they don't have the means or the profitability to be able to pay out 50% of the money that's brought in, right? They're just trying to keep the doors open in most cases. And so the eXp with them being merged with the eXp platform allows them the ability, I feel like, to scale at a much faster pace and rate than what they ever could do on their own.
Thank you.
I put an article in the chat, Marina. That's a good article. It came out a couple years ago, but it's just kind of, 15 reasons why independent brokerages are moving to eXp. So you can take a look at that as well. Share that with people. So, who else has a question? Anything? Primarily production related, if possible. I'd like to kind of keep it to that, since that's what we normally do here on Tuesdays. Nothing wrong with that question at all. We can answer more of those. But as far as anything with marketing deals, 2025, hopefully everybody's excited about it. I do think there's a turn that's going to happen here in the market. I think confidence is coming back. I think excitement's coming back a little bit. I think
So what are y'all seeing in the marketplace? I mean, we're 3 weeks into the year so far. Are y'all seeing some more activity now that we're past the holidays into the first? Obviously just got through the whole inauguration and everything yesterday. What has been the feel in your market that you've experienced this year so far?
I'm seeing an uptick, and I'm hearing of an uptick. I've got a couple listings coming up. I've got a buyer who was waiting for inauguration to put her house on the market to then buy one. I talked to an agent this morning that has 7 listings coming up. So and my showings are increasing. So That's at least my experience so far in the Springs.
Nice. Tracy said she got 4 new listings this past week. So, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I had 3 in Georgia, 1 in Tennessee, and like Tim just said, a lot of people are picking up. The buyers are more excited, and just kind of looking and getting people moving from different states too here too. So that's exciting.
We're seeing an uptick as well in the Kentucky, Indiana, and Alabama markets. I'm licensed in all 3. I think there's a degree of certainty back in the market. I mean, people are realizing, interest rates may not be coming down. That might be, I hate to use the old term, the new normal, because that's certainly been abused throughout COVID and everything. But I think we're seeing the new normal. Sellers are realizing, all right, I still want to move. And, they're just accepting the facts that rates are what they are. They're still way better than they were decades ago. And Andy's behind me, and he said they've already done almost $1.5 million in January off of the YouTube channel. And if I may do a shameless plug real quick, the reason Andy and Aileen and I are together in a room today is we do this about once a month, and we're putting the final touches on the training that Andy's doing this coming Tuesday on this very call, the mastermind call. And guys and gals, they've got $75 million in the pipeline off their YouTube channel and not spent a nickel on an ad, not one nickel. I mean, it's an amazing story. He's prepared an amazing training, and we actually created a training product that we're going to roll out to the Freedom Team on Tuesday, and we're going to give a $5,900 training product away on that call. So please mark your calendar, be there for that. We're going to put everybody's name, spin the wheel. It's all going to be live. It's pretty cool what we've done, but super excited about that. And he's going to teach you how you too can have a YouTube channel that you don't spend a nickel on and can maybe get 75 million in your pipeline.
That'd be a nice start to the new year. 75 million in my pipeline to kick off January.
To kick off the year.
It's an amazing story, guys. If you haven't watched and you can go back. Andy's trained twice on YouTube. Next week will be all, some new stuff, some of that, in there as well. But there's 2 trainings in workplace, in the Freedom Team group, the Freedom Team group, under the learning tab, 2 trainings that Andy has done in the past with YouTube. And his story with it is just amazing. I mean, what he's been able to do with that, so.
He was about to quit the business. So y'all come back. Listen,
back to car
he was
sales.
about
I'm out
to
of here.
leave the whole business, and then now they got 75 million in the pipeline.
All from YouTube.
So if you ever find yourself being down and ready to quit the business, be here on Tuesday, and you will be inspired and gain a lot of value as well.
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday. So
yeah.
Who else? Oh,
anything else
from clapping. I thought he had his hand raised.
Anybody? Yeah. Anyone else? Anything else from today's live from Nasdaq? One thing I will say, and this is, the 2 people that they brought up there. I mean, these are huge people, huge organizations. Like both those agents have big organizations that they're moving. Similar to what we're talking about with the independent companies. They're seeing the value, and you heard what Spring said. You guys are the forerunners. You guys are setting the pace. You guys are doing all of that, and agents want a part of it. So, first thing I'll say is you guys are in the right place, right? Every one of you that are already part of eXp, we're in the right place. I Jeff, been around for a long, long time, and I've never been around a company. I've been here since 2017, been in business 25 years, and I've never been a part of a company that has such visionaries with Glenn and Leo leading the charge than I have in my entire, real estate career. And so, y'all are in the right space for sure, for your own production, for your own growth. Like Jeff talked about, I mean, we do a lot of training here on Tuesdays, but that fast start, if you guys haven't plugged into that and you are feeling your business being a little sluggish from what you want it to be, even if you're not a brand new agent, it's a free program. And you heard the results, you heard the statistics from that. So and they're doing as Leo just said, they're doing that 3 times a month now. It sounds like they're rolling out new classes because there's such a demand and desire for it. I'm going to encourage you guys to get yourself signed up for one of these fast start programs or fast cap. I keep calling it fast start, but yeah. So Judy just said the fast cap is awesome, the best I've ever seen. So Judy, have you made it through? Can you just share real quick? Have you gone through the whole thing? Or are you in the middle of one right now? Because it's a 6-week program,
It
right?
is.
And so did you get through the backside or are you in the middle?
Yes. No, I went through the whole thing because I'm a mentor. And so we were able to go through it, not as a mentee, but as a mentor. And so we have all the information. It is absolutely the best training. And I've been in the business for a while, but it is just awesome training. It really is. I tell as many people as I can about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. Mhm.
That's good. So we've got the tools for y'all. It's just a matter of plugging in and then implementing, right? I mean, there's a lot of ways, as realtors that we can make sales. It's just pick a couple of things that resonate most with you, and then it's just about us getting out of our own way, and moving forward with that. So
One of the things I'll share, guys, again for right now, workplace is the tool, but you can find anything. All I did was I just went in here. I went into workplace right up in the top left. You can search anything. I just put in fast cap and searched it, and you can do most recent first, so it brings up some of the different, wherever fast cap is in there, if you want to find it. And like I just went down here. Here's a post. It was back in December, but talking about the January 9th fast cap class. It's filled up. Here comes the next class is January 29th. But again, they're going to start rolling this out on a weekly basis. It's a 6-week class. It describes it right here, and then you click on this link. Whatever, you can go and it'll tell you about the class. And you can register for it. No charge at all. It's open to everybody. 6 weeks, but it's all in here. Okay. Workplace is the place to go. I get calls all the time. How do I find this? And where can you send me a link to this? And all these different things. I start feeling like an admin person sometimes, but it's all in there. It's all in workplace. Happy to help, but that's where you go. Okay.
And through that, the average, what was it that the average agent went through that made 4.2 sales, I think, through that 6-week period.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so the results
there's so many good things in there.
Showing from the 6 weeks, and it's free. It's free, which is what's so amazing.
Yeah. And guys, there's all different agents going through it, from brand new agents to people who've been around for 20 years. I mean, you'll definitely benefit by going through it, no matter what stage of your business you're in. So it's there, fast cap. One thing I would tell you too, if you follow the eXp on like Facebook and on the different social media channels, like it's kind of cool. Like this morning, I mean, here's this video from this morning, showing them ringing the bell. They put this together, and you can share this. It's good to share, all the stuff going on. They're posting stuff all the time. Here was right afterwards, right after they hit the bell. There's just reels and stuff, different things, a tour of kind of behind the scenes, as they were getting ready to do it. So it's just good to follow, check in. You'll see different posts along the way, but things that you can share on your social media, especially if you're looking to attract and stuff. It's good to have out there, some of this kind of stuff. But just again, I think good for all of us. It's like realizing, like, wow. Hold on, sorry about that. Like I'm part of something, and feel good about it. It builds your belief, and the company builds your belief in where you're going in 2025. What it could do. So anyway, but anything else, guys? You guys want to hit? We don't have to go till 10. We can certainly wrap it up, but we'll stay here till 10. If anybody has anything they want to ask or share or comments, questions. We'll be back next Tuesday with Andy and Tim with the YouTube training. Sean Corbett was originally scheduled for today with part 2 of his training, all about your sphere. And if you haven't watched that, I'll tell you what. Like Sean, he trained in December, talking about his sphere. He did part 1. He did 1 out of 7 people in his sphere led him to a closing. 1 out of 7. He had a closing, which is huge numbers. That's all he works is his sphere. If you learn how to work it right. So part 1 was awesome. He'll do part 2. It's coming up, I think, February 11th, I think is when we have him scheduled. So, what was today? We rescheduled. We just figured we should definitely be in there with Glenn and Leo and everybody to watch that. So, okay. But any questions about anything? Talitha, do you have anything at all? Any questions as far as how do I find this or where do I go for that or anything at all? That I know it's all new and it's overload when you first get over here. It's a lot
I
of
don't
stuff.
think so right now. I think
Good.
so far it's, I'm a little familiar with some of these apps and stuff just because
Okay.
I was with eXp 3.5 years ago, but
Right.
I know a lot's changed. But no, I'm good. And I think my
Okay.
team's good so far. So
Sounds good. Well, we're here to help you however we can.
Welcome back.
thank you.
For sure.
Jeff, I have a quick question, sir.
Yes.
Sonia.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have a phone meeting here shortly with the director who sets up like the housing for the residents at the hospital. And I'm trying to get in through there, but I'm honestly not too sure if there's anything specific that I need to know beforehand, or if even you can think of some key things I should say. I'm trying to shoot to set up like a meeting presentation for next week with them.
Okay. So they handle housing like for staff at the hospital?
Correct, like for the residents that come in, I mean, and I'm shooting all the way across the board because to my knowledge, the residents only stay for so long and then they leave. So they handle more of like the housing, I guess, like close by the hospital. But I'm going like a different route, of course, trying to sell maybe the doctors or even the nurses, homes just to be on like a vendor list, where I would be one of the agents that they can reach out to.
Okay.
Can you think of anything specific that I should say or I don't know, be aware of? I've never actually spoken to anybody at the hospital.
Yeah. One of the things that one of the things that makes me think of is that was it Bundle Select, that whole thing?
So yeah, I had two thoughts. First is I would reach out to Cindy. What's her last name, Jeff?
Nixon. Cindy
Cindy, who
Nixon.
runs our relocation division.
Cindy
I would
Nixon.
see what insight she could share that would maybe help as you go into that meeting.
Okay.
The other thing that comes to my mind, and I would maybe even talk to Cindy about this as well, is one of the things that Jeff has trained on in the past and has talked about is some kind of some kind of bait that you want to offer them. Like, why would they even want to refer their doctors and residences and nurses and all to you? And so, what's important to them, right? You donate money back to that hospital, maybe after every closing, or you know, guarantee to give their doctors and nurses maybe $1,000 towards their closing cost, some kind of idea that would be beneficial for them. And I don't know if they would want any kind of, referral feedback and, again, if what your state laws are, if you could legally do that. But
Okay.
maybe even offer an incentive to the doctor, nurses who buy from you to offer a credit, right? If they, mention being referred from the hospital. So just a couple ideas like that come to my mind. But I think the first call I'd make would be to Cindy, who's the head of our relocation, because she is always talking, and she's been in that space for years to really talk to big corporations like a hospital.
Okay.
Reasons that they would want to even, she could give you some good insight, I feel like.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome if you got a door in, I mean, a open door to be able to go in and talk to somebody that could maybe.
Yes, I used to work with him when I worked at the hospital, and that's kind of my door right there. So yes, ma'am.
Nice,
So I
congrats.
want to share this because, and again, Cindy could help you with this. If you get a hold of Cindy, you can find her in Workplace, Cindy Nixon. But this is something that we had last year. Don Conchatori trained on this thing called Bundle Select. And basically, if you go back and watch this, and again, it's under the Learning tab here in eXp. But if you go in here, basically Bundle Select, you would become like the go-to agent for the hospital. It doesn't cost the hospital anything. They just add it into like their part of their employee benefits.
They're
So
offering, yep.
anybody at the hospital who wants to make a move locally, or they want to sell or buy or whatever, they get a discount if they use you. Okay, and what happens for them is it's like a 25% referral fee. 5% goes back to Bundle Select. 20% goes back to the doctor, the nurse, or whoever hired you. So it's a benefit to them to use you, but you become that go-to person. It costs them nothing to bring you on. And there's a whole training in here on how you can go in and meet somebody, anybody like that, any company, and become, like the preferred agent for that company. And then they add it into their employee benefits, So
Understood. Okay, thank you. I'll definitely pull that up.
That's something to look here. I'll share the link to that right here. I'll put it down in the chat. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So you have it, but something to look into. But again, Dawn can help you with that. There might be a few changes to that since we first did this training was back in May of last year. I know we have several people that we all kind of got, certified with it, whatever, but then you can join that. It's kind of cool because they talked about, if you know somebody at a nationwide company like that, she mentioned there was a guy in Ohio, I think he had a connection to Progressive Insurance. So he goes in to meet with somebody. Well, now, on Progressive Insurance's website, all the Progressive employees across the country, like 30,000, they're now connected to Bundle Select. And so they would refer them to a local agent in their market. And then he gets 5% of any closing that happens with any of those agents because he's the one that set that up.
Set it up. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool, whatever. But you can look into that. And if you guys, haven't seen that before, or you weren't around when we did that, that's a training from last year. You can find in there. So that could be helpful.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Anything else, guys, before we wrap it up? I've been battling a toothache. I was up all night last night. I'm telling you, I'm on drugs right now. So I'm going in at 1 o'clock today. Here's the go figure. I've got a wisdom tooth. I have one wisdom tooth. I wanted to call my mom. I'm like, what was it? A buy one get two free sale? Why do I have one? I don't know why I have one. And it's got a crack in it, and it flared up over the weekend. And oh my goodness, I have been knocking down ibuprofen like it's candy. And so I was up all night. So I'm going in at 1 o'clock today. They're going to yank that thing out, and I'll probably be out for the day. But anyway, so feel fine right now. But give it another hour. I'm due for my next meds are in 1 hour here. So what a
I
pain.
got to run, guys. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thanks, Mike. You guys have
Thank
a great
you.
day. Guys, we'll wrap it
All
up
right,
here.
Jeff.
Okay, join us tomorrow if you can. Okay.
Yep.
Whatever. We'll be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow, Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Eastern, for the Connect to Collaborate. Again, every week we do that. So we'll be talking about anything and everything there. Okay.
All right.
See
Thank
you guys
you.
there. Have a great day.
Have
Okay.
a good day, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.